Thousands of human beings traveling through Central America and Masay to the U.S. are jammed on Mexico's southern boundary following an unsuccessful try to come the nation. Several of them ruined via Guatemala boundary fences but later clashed in Mexico revolt police force in no person's earth. On Friday, U.S. CEO Donald Trump thanked Mexico for its efforts in break the convoy of migrants. The migrants, generally of Honduras, say they are escaping abuse and poverty reduction, and involve female and family. CEO Trump, who has endangered to shut downward the U.S. boundary and cut aid to countries enabling the convoy to undergo, told the war would be named on if necessary. They might as so rotate behind, they're not upcoming in the nation, he said reporters on Friday. Following negotiations on boundary safety in Mexico, Secretariat of Country Mike Pompeo told the position was achieving a time of meltdown. Lot of the migrants provisionally ruined via impeding on a axle that crosses the inland boundary among Guatemala and Mexico. Many decades of Mexico police force in revolt fired teardrop gas to strengthen them to refuge in not man's earth following creature attack in stone. A quantity of migrants jumped in the Suchiate inland to achieve rafts, time other each rotated behind to Guatemala or just set downward on the axle. Several human beings were according to reports injured in the collision, consisting migrants, police force and journalists. One female nurse infant said AFP she had lost 2 of her family in the havoc. We're fleeing off of abuse, and we come there and they fair hit us more than, Marta Ornelas Cazares, 28, told. I don't aware which happened, I mind we were departure to crucifix peaceably and later abruptly down there were rock flyer and teardrop natural gas. The Mexico authorities told such in actual passports and visas would be permitted in once, although the is believed to use to just a minority group of the migrants. They alerted how nobody out of papers would include to use for asylum seeker statute or rotate behind, and nobody who cross unlawfully would be arrested and expelled. Onto AFP, they begun to enable a little quantity of human beings, consisting female and family, who were searching asylum seeker statute to undergo the boundary deceased on Friday. They were put onto trucks and undertaken in shelters. An alleged 3,000 human beings are told to include united the travel of almost 2,800 miles, 500 km, generally on leg, that began in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, more than rather than a 1 week back. Honduras CEO Juan Orlando Hernandez told he had speak to his Guatemala copy and requested permit to email his nation's civilian protect strength to the region to assist the migrants. I as well requested for permission to rental land transport for nobody who wants to back and an air axle for specific cases of female, family, the old and the patient, Hernandez tweeted. The 2 leaders are due to encounter after on Saturday to talk the position. Mexico CEO Enrique Peña Nieto told the boundary collision was unparalleled and charged several of the migrants of offensive police force. Humane rights groups include criticized the U.S. and Mexico answer to the convoy. Erica Guevara Rosas of Pardon World told in a declaration, these families merit virtue and honor to provide how not one is unlawfully refundable to situations wherever they could hazard severe damage due to abuse. With his campaigning days, Mr. Trump has lambasted illicit migrant, and the newest convoy comes following a main migration crackdown. Mr. Trump's threats go weeks up the medium-term elections on November 6, that could see Democrats unseating Republicans in the building of representatives. Mr. Trump has shipped domestic guardsmen military to the boundary up, it is not clear which he tool by closing it downward completely, and if how would influence business community or human beings in legal visas. And on to World Act, the U.S. cannot expel refuge repatriates out of at first determination the reasonableness of their complaint. An alleged 10% of the people of Guatemala, El Salvador and Honduras include fled risk, constrained mob recruiting and gloomy economical opportunities. The area has one of the highest assassination rates in the planet. The UN informed assassination rates in 2015 in Honduras permanent at deaths per 100,000 and El Salvador at deaths. Yari Dixon, an opposition political figure in Honduras, tweeted on Monday how the convoy was not searching the US vision but escaping the Honduras horror. In a declaration on Tuesday, Honduras Overseas Ministry forced its countrymen to no let themselves be utilized by emotion how is obviously policy and seeks to violate the controllability, sustainability and world